What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and in today's video, I'm gonna explain why you should not purchase real estate. Now, if you follow the channel, this probably sounds like clickbait, but it's not. You know, I absolutely love investing in real estate, and I truly believe that it is the right thing for everyone to do at some point in their life. However, in this video, I'm gonna talk about all of the reasons or situations you might be in that it is not the right time for you personally to buy real estate. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it. Now, the reason that I decided to make this video is I have tons of people coming to me and saying, Chandler, this is my situation. What should I do? What real estate should I buy? How should I go about doing it? And I've come to find that there are lots of those people that come and approach me that actually are not in the right place to purchase real estate. It really wouldn't be a good decision for them because it would probably put them in a worse situation than they already are. And that is not the purpose of investing in real estate. To explain this principle, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite games. It's called Monopoly. Now, for those of you that have played Monopoly, essentially you go out and your goal is to buy as much real estate as you can, because when someone else lands on your piece of real estate, they've got to pay you money, and it's awesome. However, when I was younger and I was really getting into this game, the first couple times I played it, I would buy real estate as quickly as I possibly could. I would spend all of my cash, and then I was still trying to live life, and I would land on somebody else's property, or I would have other expenses that come with playing the game of Monopoly, just like they come with the game of life. And what would happen is I couldn't afford to buy or pay whatever needed to be paid because I'd spent all of my money on real estate. Now, this causes lots of issues in the game because you've got to sell your properties for a discount, cash out, and if you get in too big of a hole, pretty soon you just don't have any money or any properties and the game's over. You've lost. Now, this game is a very simplified version of life and investing in real estate, and it's missing a lot of facets. However, there are so many people that come in my door that are in a similar situation or other situations that we're going to talk about in this video where it just doesn't make sense to purchase real estate. So we're going to go through all of the reasons or scenarios or situations that you should not purchase real estate. And I'm really hoping that this helps some of you, first of all, figure out what you need to do to get into the right place to purchase real estate. I'm also hoping that it turns some of you away from purchasing real estate right now until you get all of your ducks in a row. The first reason is low income. Now, this falls in line perfectly with my example of the Monopoly board, but I want to make sure that you understand what this means. A lot of times I'll have people come into me and they'll say, Chandler, I really want passive income. And the reason they want passive income is because they suck at active income. And what you need to understand is for you to ever get to a place where you truly create passive income, you've got to first learn how to create an active income. And if you want to skip having an active income and go right to a passive income, I would say the best approach for you to take is reach out to your parents and ask them if they've got an available room in the basement and they're willing to cover all of your room and board, your food, your expenses, because that's the only true passive income that you can get without first figuring out how to make an active income. So if you're one of those people where you're like, yeah, I've got no money in the bank, I don't have a job, I really love this whole, passive income idea, well, I'm sorry, you're at the wrong place. You've got to find a way to create income for yourself. You've got to find a way to put together a budget. You've got to find a way to have some money budgeted, set aside to buy real estate, and the rest that you use frugally to live your lifestyle until you can get to a point where enough is saved up to purchase real estate. Now, a lot of people will argue with me. They'll say, well, I could wholesale, or I could flip properties, or I could, and my answer to you is yes, none of those are passive income. Those are all ways to create active income. And you can do that in real estate. You can do that in a lot of different ways, but understand it's going to take a lot of your time to create income. And then once you've used your time to create income, you have income to create passive income. Now, there are certain ways that maybe with your time you can create passive income, but the easiest way to do it is first figure out how to create an active income and then move that money into investing to where you can create a passive income. Now, this is one of many reasons that you should not invest in real estate, at least right now. Let's jump into the others. The next reason, we're gonna call it needs for personal success. And what these are is they're things like your clothing, they're things like your car, your diet, your exercise, all of these basic things that you need. That I'll have a lot of people that will come to me and say, Chandler, I've got money set aside, I'm ready to buy real estate, and they look like a total bum, and they're using Uber to get around, and they're being super frugal, and they're in a place where they can't truly invest in themselves. And we're gonna talk more about other ways that you can invest in yourself in just a minute. But the reason I find this so important is you've got to be in a place where you look successful. You've got to be in a place where you can be successful, where you have all of the things so that you can function properly, so you can drive to a job or drive to your business, so you can get around and do the things that you need because you've spent the money on yourself. One, to have the confidence. Two, to look good and professional. And three, to be able to get around and do the things that you need to do. So when people come to me and they look like a total bum and they don't have a car and they're saying, oh, but I've got money set aside, I'm ready to start investing in real estate. This is foolish because those things, investing in yourself, it will get you a higher return than putting this money into a rental property. And I know that's weird advice. I know you're thinking, Chandler, if they save the money, obviously they've been able to function. Yeah, but I guarantee they're leaving way more money on the table because they're being frugal in the wrong way than they would be able to make from putting that money into a rental property. I know that sounds crazy, but in a rental property, yeah, you can buy a rental property and get passive income of a 40 to 50% return on your property, maybe more. You should be able to 10x the kind of income you're making if you spend your money properly on you so that you can connect with the right people, you can put yourself in the right places, and you can do the right things to increase your income. This links up perfectly with our next one that we're gonna have pop up, and that is self-development. Now, self-development could cover a myriad of different things. This could be your education, whether you're going to college, whether you're buying books, whether you're paying for courses, for masterminds, to be in certain groups, to learn from certain people, to have a business coach, whatever it is, there's so many different things that you should be investing your money in before real estate when it comes to personally developing as an individual. Now, I know it's appealing to get into passive income and take that approach, but I'm telling you, invest in yourself because again, you're gonna be able to get a much higher return if you invest in yourself properly. Now, again, this carries over into the next one, which is invest in your business. I cannot tell you how many business owners I have that will call me and say, Chandler, I'm sitting on 100 grand, or I'm sitting on 500 grand, or I'm sitting on $1 million. I wanna start investing in real estate. And I'll say, perfect, and we'll start going through it. And pretty soon I'll come to find out that this is the first year their business has really crushed it, or maybe the second year. And I'll say, well, hey, it sounds like you're crushing it with your business. What are your plans? How are you gonna scale? And we'll get into it. And if I ask the right questions, pretty soon I find out that $1 invested in their business will get them $2 out. And I'm like, well, hey, if every dollar you invest in your business gets you $2 and you haven't reached a point with your business where it's topped out, where you could spend this money and it could maximize your business in a huge way, why would you invest in real estate right now? Like, what is the advantage to going and getting a 40 to 50% return in real estate? And that's awesome. I love real estate. But you're not putting any of this money back into your business. So your business is staying kind of stagnant when you know a method that you could put the money in and you could explode your business. Now, with any business, there reaches a point where you kind of cap it, right? You can't, like every dollar you spend is only gonna get you 5 or 10 cents back, and that's cool. It's still worth putting into your business for a lot of people, but the marginal return they're getting just isn't worth it. That is the point where when your business is tapped out, it's worth investing. Or let's say you've made tons of money, and like the guy that had $1 million come in and he says, you know what, Chandler, I just don't want to put more time into my business. I'm trying to get an exit. Then yeah, it makes sense to put it into real estate. But for those people that are like, yeah, I know I could totally, crank up my business, but I've watched your YouTube videos and I think it'd be cool to own more real estate. There's a time and a place, and if right now you can capitalize big on building your business, build your business, or at least just budget a smaller chunk towards real estate, but keep the majority of that money funneling back into your business because that's where you're getting the highest return. Now, if it's not, again, go the real estate route, but invest back in yourself and invest in your business. All right, the next reason you should not invest in real estate is if you don't have enough cash in the bank for proper reserves. And I see so many people make this mistake where they're trying to buy real estate to give themselves a safety net, but then they way over leverage themselves. And everyone has a different definition of what over leveraging yourself looks like. But for me, I would say anytime you're going to invest in real estate, or even when you're gonna buy your own personal house or run a business or any of that, I'm someone that I always want to keep a minimum of 6 months reserves. So if you've got, your family and you have fixed expenses and you're looking at mortgage and expenses on your rentals, if I was you, I would make sure that you've got 6 months reserves for your family and 6 month reserves for your property to pay the mortgage and expenses for both of those. And if you've got that, then you can afford buying the property. Same goes for another business. Let's say you've got your family and you've got a business or 2 businesses, and then you're thinking of buying a rental property. Make sure you build up reserves. And I know it sucks to sit on cash, but I'm telling you guys, the one thing you can do to really protect your family and yourself and your business and your real estate and give you those warm feel goods isn't staying away from debt. All right, debt is good if you use it properly, as long as you have reserves. And for me, I've gotten to the point through all of this craziness with COVID and Russia and everything else, I actually made a goal to keep 1 year worth of reserves. Here's how I look at it. I can own tons of real estate, I can have tons of successful businesses, I can have all of this stuff, but if something happens where it all goes to crap and I don't even have 6 months reserves for my family, then what good was all this work and preparation and planning good for? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? If you don't have 6 months reserves, you're gonna have to change your lifestyle drastically and you're not gonna have time to figure things out. And that's why I moved to 1 year reserves through all of this craziness, because it just gives me the warm feel goods. And so for you, if you're thinking of really overextending yourself and stretching and buying that first rental, but you're not gonna have good reserves, I would advise you against it. Now, there are only a couple situations that maybe some of these rules you bend. One of them is with buying a personal house, especially if you're going to buy like a duplex or a fourplex, you're gonna have other tenants. A lot of times that can actually lower your expense. And there have been people that have come to me and said, Chandler, I'm pushing it on reserves, but it's either pay rent or pay less of a mortgage every month because these tenants are filled, they've signed 1 year leases, I could get into a rental property, and I think that will help me to build up even more reserves, and I found an extraordinary deal. Well, for someone like that, I would say full send it. Same with a family that you've built up this family and you're looking between renting or saving money and getting a mortgage and putting yourself and your family into a home that you can be building equity in. I'm gonna say send it on the house and then work on getting those reserves built up. Now, some people might disagree with me, but it all depends on your situation, what you're comfortable stretching. And if hey, my job feels very comfortable, it's very locked in, I know that the next couple of months I can build back up my reserves, and this is an incredible deal on a house that we've been looking for and trying to prepare for, and we're almost there. Well, hey, maybe that's okay to send it on your first piece of real estate. So if you clicked this video because you didn't believe I wouldn't do clickbait and you thought that's what you were gonna get, well, it wasn't clickbait at all, because there truly are people that should not buy or invest in real estate right now. And I'm really hoping this video helps you kind of evaluate your own situation and make the proper decisions for you, your family, and your future. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell. And if you're one of those people that says, you know what, Chandler, after watching this video, I think I am someone that's ready. I'm ready to jump into real estate, but I don't know how. You can click the link down in the description and pick up my real estate investing course, or you can check out my other videos. Both of those are gonna help you figure out how to start investing in real estate. The course is just gonna give you step-by-step, 12 hours of all the content you could ever need to get comfortable to making the jump. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.